Good evening, all, and welcome back to the Celtic Unrestricted View. I'm JP, and joining me tonight, my good man, Mr. Ryan Clifford. Well, wee man, you weren't on Monday with me. It was a dial-in again on Monday, and young Daniel joined us for the first time and made his debut on the podcast. Two calls for Francis and my dad, John M. Good chat, actually. Really good chat. Obviously, the early doors, Ryan. Different topic we're going to go into tonight. But before we do, wee man, hope you're well and give us your thoughts on the weekends or what you thought the aftermath of the weekend.
Aye, all good, mate. All good. Glad to be back on. After obviously working on Monday, so on the day job, so back on, mate. Good to be back on with you. Aye, obviously good to get Daniel on. Was actually really impressed with him. Thought he spoke really well. Obviously, met him at the weekend, had a chat with him, and obviously had a wee chat with him, obviously the pod, and he's come on and he's been brilliant. So, like you say, Daniel will be a part of the pod going forward, and he's views are different views, different personality. It's all good for the podcast, mate. And it's he's definitely knowledgeable, and he's young age, so I would call it. I'm young at 31, but Daniel's younger than me. But you wouldn't think, listen to maybe he's the age he is. Like he says, he knows football, he does coaching, so he's got a background of knowledge already. So fantastic to get Daniel on board. The game had a long time to obviously spew over it now. Disappointing, wasn't it? I think that's the biggest thing we can all say. It was bitterly disappointing. And normally that's big tar for the road that says that, not really us. So a bit of rain medicine, shall we call it. But it was disappointment, JP. I think when you go 1-0 up, Celtic shouldn't be losing any game of football, especially in Scotland at 1-0 up. You should see the game out. If that means go and get a second goal, which Maeda probably should be scoring personally, I think should be scoring that. You wouldn't score that, game's won. It's party time. So it was pretty poor, mate. I thought we were flat. I think you and Daniel kind of covered it in terms of we just looked, it actually looked two teams that were kind of burnt out. It wasn't really a good showpiece to the end of the season. Normal end of the season, Scottish Cups, like you say, sunshine. It's what a party atmosphere. Two teams right up for it. It just seemed dead flat the full game, and we had a few chances to get extra goals. But I think I said to you, I think if cup finals could be draws, I think a draw with them a fair result. Do we really deserve it? Probably. On maybe chances, probably, but in terms of the way we played, I didn't think we were poor. I didn't think we were good, sorry. Didn't think we really deserved it. We just didn't look ourselves. Like you said, Nicholas Kuhn wasn't great. Engels, I'm a big fan of him. He wasn't brilliant either. I thought either was a statue up front, didn't move a muscle. To be honest, we could go through every players, but you can't do that. But I do agree with what Daniel did say. I did count 7 mistakes for Liam Scales in 12 minutes, and he can't be the ball carrier. If the ball carrier's going to be for defence, it's going to be Carter Vickers because he gets it quicker. And I'll stand by it. I don't see why in the off she's not getting game time. I really don't know what the guy's done behind the scenes or whatever, but it's clear to say that for us to move forward, I know he's had his plaudits and he's had guys who like him and rate him, but Liam Scales can't continue playing with Celtic if we want to move forward, and it's as simple as that. People may think I'm harsh on that, but it's as simple as that. He's a squad player at best, and we need to try and get better than that. If we can't, then I think the recruitment team's going to have a look at that as well. But I looked at the goal again, JP, today. I've looked at it a few times, and again, people don't shut me down saying, you're just blaming Taylor or this and that. Schmeichel should be saving that, right? Let's be fair. It was an absolute howler. But see, Greg Taylor shuts him down. I've watched it again. Taylor's far, far too far away. He's got to be right close to the Aberdeen player. Either show him down the line or show him back in or jockey him. If that happens, the ball's not in the box and it's not going to Schmeichel. It's get defended better. So you start for the defender and then the goalkeeper. But realistically, look, I'm not going to pinpoint it on Taylor because if the Schmeichel, doesn't matter if Taylor stops it or no, Schmeichel's got to save that. He's got to actually palm it either out wide or he's got to save it. It's the first protocol, JP. I'm not a goalkeeper, but you all know as a goalkeeper, you never try and parry it back out to the middle, and that's what it looked like he done. So again, there was question marks on his fitness as well. Do I think he was fit? Probably no. I think they rushed him the last 2 or 3 games of the season to get him fit for the cup final. if I'm saying Salo, I'm pretty disappointed I didn't play the rest of the season, but it's all if much the babies make the lost the cup and you've got to give credit to Aberdeen. But aye, I was disappointed, JP. I thought we spoke about it how you've got to give Aberdeen respect, but if we turn up, we should be winning. I think John says it on a voice note as well. Was it 37, 39 points Aberdeen? You beat them by like 15 goals or something in 3 games. Realistically, Celtic should be going there full of confidence and going putting in the same performance or at least winning the game. And that didn't happen. And fair play to Aberdeen and Jimmy Teelan. They've got the Scottish Cup and we just need to build now. We just need to see what's going to happen this summer and we move forward. But the consensus at all, mate, was disappointing. And again, it's no entitlement, but you expect big moments, big players, been there and done it. You turn up and you go and do it again. But it wasn't to be, mate, and we just need to move on now and hopefully we go and get some decent signings in and we kickstart the playoffs for Europe and then
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah, I did say that to Daniel on Monday when we were chatting about it, Ryan. I did say it seems to be the season for the underdogs this season. You look at right across the board, like the amount of teams that have, you know, like Newcastle, Spurs winning the Europa League in a season that you would never have seen them winning any silverware. Crystal Palace beat Manchester City in the cup final. Aberdeen beat us in the final. Sunderland beating Sheffield United again. A lot of people wouldn't have seen that one. They'd have had Sheffield United as favourites. Livingston's beat Ross County to over jump them and come to the Premier League. So there has been quite a few upsets along the way this season. And maybe that's, maybe the stars have aligned this year. And like you says, Ryan, it was a performance. So it wasn't. Good evening, everybody that's tuning in with us on the platforms. I hope you are all well. Hope your week's going well for you. We'll start with some comments. Chris Money, evening, boys, and the chat. Good evening, JP, Ryan, and Alex. We do apologise. Our sponsor of the podcast, Big Bev, Alex Beveridge, was supposed to be joining myself and Ryan tonight, but obviously, unfortunately, something cropped up at the last moment. And Alex wasn't able to get on with us, but he does send his apologies for that. Don't Change says good evening, Hoops. George says, all right, hula hoops. Why did McGregor take the first penalty? Is that a leader thing or just because he's a captain? Strikers first on every shootout, then the midfielders, but didn't agree with the first penalty taker. I think, as you said, George, I think personally, just to answer that quickly before we move on to our topic, I think basically there, Ryan, he's more or less, as George said, showing his leadership there, mate, and try to be the first one to do it. And Gary agrees with you as well there. Gary says you're right, Ryan, Scales can't be the pick going forward. And again, Taylor was woeful. I think, obviously, looking at that as well, I mean, the one way to say about Scales is, I mean, I agree with what you're saying. I do think we can certainly improve in that position. Probably as we could in every position if you look at the whole team. Like I says to you, mate, if you get through the full team and I find you'd probably be going stuff crazy because it'd be annoying you to start sticking in your head about this one and that one, and you could go through everybody and find deficiencies with them all. I know certain people have got their favourites and certain people have got the ones that maybe they think, no, he's not for me and we need to get better. Unfortunately, Liam Scales, I think, falls into that category. But I do agree with you. I think Liam Scales can be improved upon. But the way I'm looking at it as well is, I mean, obviously the manager, what's that, two seasons and pretty much, when he's been fit, the manager's selected him over the other guys that are there. Now, people can say JP, but there's not really a lot of competition there from him. There is other centre-backs there from him. We spent 6 million in one of them in Austin Trusty. So we'll just need to wait and see, as you said, Ryan. But tonight, mate, was all about a different topic altogether, mate, and something that's been bothering me now for the last week or two. And I thought it'd be a good idea for us to come on tonight and have a wee chat about it. Whenever Celtic won the league, and whenever they have the trophy day. I don't know how you feel, Ryan. My feeling is that it's the bare minimum that's done that day. Now, for me, that day is a massive day. Celtic are getting another trophy. They're getting a big celebration. You look at the contrast to that to Napoli just winning the league in Italy. The amount of entertainment and everything that was going on there for the fans. I look at Brendan Rodgers' small words of wisdom when he was talking, when it was Callum, him, and Jamesy, and it just appeared to be. I mean, I was at the game that day, mate. It was like a Sky interview, like a Sky TV interview to me. I didn't think, I just felt it was a total rush job. On a day like that, Ryan, when the players are celebrating winning the title, in my opinion, mate, I feel that the fans are not engaged with too much on that day. Everything's all over in a flash, and it happens pretty quickly. They come out, they lift the trophy, and they go. Now, the players are all probably going out that night for meals and, done by the club and a night out with the boys and whatever they go and do. What do the fans do? We've got to go out on our own and celebrate that moment and find something to do. If not, you're going home. So for me, I think personally, Ryan, there should be much more made of Trophy Day in terms of, an enticement out for families, an enticement out for fans to want to maybe take kids. If it's face painting on the Celtic way, ex-players come and, it's appropriate times are given for fans to be able to get photos with them, and even that engagement with the current team and even the management staff, because Celtic Park, in my opinion, is big enough for, again, a photo opportunity for fans to make their way to a certain bit of the ground where they can get photos. They don't have to, individually. I'm not meaning that, Ryan. What I mean here is, just say for talking's sake, like the North Cubs safe standing area, right? If they had something like that down nearer the trackside that Celtic could use for that purpose. I'm not talking about when the match is being played. What I'm talking about there, Ryan, is if it's organised properly, mate, Celtic could organise fans to go and stand there and wait their turn and have, the players shouldn't be in too much of a hurry, because it just seems to me like the players just go, lift the trophy, right, guys, I'm away. Then you look at the entertainment in terms of music that's on in that day. So you look at Napoli, again, they had a DJ, right, entertaining the fans after the game was finished. And the way Napoli done it, Ryan, they brought out each member of staff, coaching-wise, boards of directors. They brought each and every person out individually for personal acknowledgement as well on what they brought to the table this season and what they've done. So just for me, mate, I don't know how you feel, mate, but just for me, I feel like, when it happens, I just felt very disengaged as a fan being in the stand that day, and it's been something that it's the same stuff all the time on Trophy Day. I'm not saying, listen, guys, you need to jump through hoops for us, or you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm just asking them to try and modernise the way they do it on that day, because for me, I feel looking at the Napoli game and watching that the other night, mate, we are so far behind the times.
I've spoke to you and Alan about it probably a lot of the season and just in general, JP. It's not just Trophy Day, mate. It's just in general. Match day experiences. See, the fans. I know you get rewarded as a fan for your team winning games and scoring goals and seeing good players and trophies, but trophies are not a given, right? So no fan is guaranteed to celebrate a double, a treble, a league win, a win in Europe, a package, and we're not guaranteed that. You're paying your book to go and see the club and go and see your players, right? But I said that me and Alan said that weeks ago on here when we spoke about the pricing, season books and tickets in Scotland and everything else. Just obviously just on Celtic. I said every probably SPL fell club, but in
Yeah.
terms of Celtic, in terms of the conversation tonight, what do you get as a book called on the? What do you get? You get to see your team play, get that granted, right? You get to see derby games before anybody else, and you get a cheaper package in the Champions League.
I suppose
But
in a way, Ryan, you could look at it that way as well, in terms of we're given success by the club
aye,
because of, the
but it
trophy
might, but
wins and
that's no
everything.
given though. It's no given.
No, it's not a given, but
So
that's how lucky we've
aye,
been
I
over
get
the
aye,
last
but I could
20
pay.
years or whatever it
I
may
could
be.
just say I can go and pay £1,000 for my season boot, right? But I could be like Arsenal and win nothing. I get nothing. So it's no, it's I'm
True.
not paying because I know I'm going to win the league.
Or you
I'm
could be like
paying.
a certain team that
Aye,
we share a city with,
aye.
and
I,
be the same
I,
way.
I pay my book because I love going to watch the football. I can't play football now, so it's something that it's a hobby for me now. Go and see Celtic. We do this, so it's good for me to go and see Celtic, other football teams, keep my knowledge about football. Basically, knowledge about football as well. But I love going to Celtic Park. I love watching football. I love watching my team. But
Yeah.
sometimes you feel. I know Angie M saying there about how there's a board and stuff like that, know the fans' feelings. I think a lot of the board members know Ange about the fans' feelings towards certain things in the club. If it's i.e. spending in players, if it's fan experience. They done a survey, was it last year, about the stadium and everything. I've heard
Yeah.
nothing back for that yet. Nothing. That was nearly a year ago now. I've heard
Yeah.
nothing. The toilets have not been painted. There's been the matchday food still, excuse my French, but shit. Horrible pies, flat juice. It's small things like that it should be a full experience, IP. Doesn't matter if it's celebration day,
See
if
the
it's a game
match day food,
against.
right? See what you're talking about there with the
I know
chaos,
it's no
right?
Celtic. I know it's
No,
no
no, no.
Celtic. Aye.
That's what I was going to say. So
Mm,
see for I totally agree with you. I think that needs
mm.
improved also. However, seeing that moment, then what do we do? Because
We go and get better suppliers in, if that's the case. Or you
right,
tell suppliers to
okay,
buy better food. You've
no,
got to do.
I
Do you
get
know what
you.
I
But
mean?
some companies are companies like Domino's. There's a Domino's
Mm-hmm.
in the North Stand near where I sit. They are, there's other like fish and chips companies as well, and no a very well known one, but that's all they specialise in. But I understand that they rent out that slot
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
from the stadium, and then. But I do agree with you. I do think those guys need general feedback also
Mm-hmm.
because, like he says, even um, I remember one day I took a pie back to the lassie and I says, "Is that pie been cooked in?" She says, "Aye, how?" I says, "It's just started drinking all my Pepsi." Because I was like, a good vet would bring that back to life in. Come on. What's going on? So I do agree with you, but it's in that moment, where do we go? I'm talking obviously let's start with the kind of match day for
Aye, well,
the
we'll obviously
trophy day
touch
thing.
on more, but on that, JPR, me and you had a conversation about it all day.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we're going to, you mean with a debate about this and say I will put it on the night because it's definitely something that I think needs to be spoken about in terms of I think Celtic need to align with the fans in this and we try our best not to criticise the club or criticise everything because of what they do behind the scenes and listen, I know how hard well, I don't know how but I know briefly how hard it is to run a football club, run a business, I get all that, but there's got to be some sort of there you go, right? The fans are getting gypped for going to Merchant City, right? Well, where's the fans meant to go? And the pubs, you can't ask 50, 60,000 fans to all congregate in Merchant City, the pubs. It's not going to happen. All the bouncers tell them to go away. So that's where the club need to go, right? We're going to win the league. Just say there's 3 or 4 games to go and the trophy's
Yeah,
won, right? Do you know what to do? We'll either go to Glasgow Green or if it's Bellerston Park or anywhere in the, I know maybe Bellerston's too far, but just say the Green, right? It's basically 10-minute walk for Celtic Park or
mm-hmm.
50-minute walk, right? You've got transport links to there, you can get taxis, you can walk it, you can get a bus, whatever, right? Or even Celtic can even put some even buses on for just try to think of different things, right?
Yep.
They can, like you say, JP, they can put a fans on, big fan park, stewarded by Celtic, police brought in by Celtic, and it's Celtic fans. If anything goes wrong, it's down to Celtic and the fans because it's their organisation, it's their festival,
Well,
whatever you want to call it,
that's the
their
thing
fan
as well.
park.
watched that vlog with Paul Slane and Open
Yeah.
Goal, and he goes to Napoli. Mate, that is organised by the Napoli fans in the streets of Napoli. There is no police present anywhere at all
That's
around that. They are in the
I
they are
don't
in
know. Aye.
the dark perimeters of the area. Now, obviously, there's got to be police presence. However, they're not heavily involved the way like the UK police would be. They are out. They're out. They're sitting in their vans. They are relaxed. They're comfortable, and the fans are policing that area themselves.
I just, maybe it's harder than I'm thinking it is, right? But it can't be hard as a board to congregate and go right. Or if it's even if it's a merchandise team, if it's John Paul Taylor for the liaison, whoever it is that deals with all
John Paul Taylor.
the marketing team, whoever it is deals with all, come together and say, look, right, we'll maybe let if it's 5,000 or 10,000 fans, whatever it is. If it's a ticketed event or you need to show your season book, whatever it is you need to scan, whatever it is you need to do, we'll get it all. Just like what do you call it? That transmit. We'll get it all. We'll pay for it all. Get bordered in. We'll pay it all. We'll get singers. We'll get a band. We'll get free face painting. By the way, it shouldn't cost you much as a fan to go to this. It should be ideally it should be free. So face painting for the kids. It should be food stalls, maybe discounted prices. Just things for the fans. Maybe, like you say, photos with a replica trophy, maybe an
Because Celtic have
ex-players.
won the league, you could get like a free burger and a free juice.
It could be anything. And like you say, it could be Tom Boyd, Darren Jackson, or what Simon Donnelly, ex-players, whatever. Maybe go on stage for
We could even
15,
have
20
Bobby
minutes.
Petter on the deck, mate.
Aye, there you go. But it could
He's
be
a DJ
any.
now, Bobby Petter.
That's right,
on the
aye.
deck.
It could be any ex-player that's maybe won, maybe like Simon Donnelly, guys sort of Jackie McNamara, all these sort of guys. They can maybe go on stage and have a conversation with fans. Go and take, it's just celebrate being Celtic fans and celebrate winning
You remember the
because
Celtic festival they had in the SEC?
okay, aye, some for that
Like,
even some for that JP because
something that was organised where you could go into another bit of the arena and see Big Sutton talking about his time at Celtic. There was photo shoots with Hartson, Darren Jackson was there.
that's what I mean.
Mate, that was a brilliant day. Me and my dad went to that and it was a tremendous day.
So
absolutely tremendous
it's
day.
just something like that for after the game where they can go and celebrate and actually no get into trouble after post for having pie. Like you says, we listen. I get pyros are dangerous, right? I'm for it. I'm more against it. Just if you want to do it safely, fire away, right? See if that's a controlled environment in a festival. There's police watching. Look, can we play some pyros for the atmosphere? We're not doing any damage. It's just right, cool, right? But Napoli Day and it's everybody's all loving life. People are half cut or sober, whatever. They're all enjoying their day celebrating. But as soon as we date Scotland, it's that's bad. He's a nerd. It's dangerous. It's just a stigma around people enjoying themselves in Scotland.
Yeah.
Either you're too drunk or you're too dangerous. But if it's all policed, then I don't see reason behind it. And then go back to Celtic Park, and I'll let you back in because I know you're big on this. It's just right, well done, right? Let's go a wee lap then. Take some photos with our kids and our families, and the manager says a wee speech, and then it's up the road. The fans are away. Players are maybe going out for meals, going out celebrating, maybe going out their 2-3 day bender if they want, because let's be fair, they deserve it, right? If they think that is obviously. But it just seems it's not just obviously we'll touch on other things about the fan engagement, but I just think the fans are definitely no getting, if you want to call it, the value of money for trophy day because like you say, Jimmy, some people might even pay 50, 60, 70 quid. Hospitality as well, it's extra for that day because they might make it a day out.
Yeah.
I know people that can only get to certain games because they say certain countries. Again, I don't like the fact people can just pay money and go to hospitality, but some people make it a day out for them. The only day it might be the only game they go to due to they can't get here certain times. They'll pay money for hospitality, they enjoy their day out, they enjoy the trophy day, etc. Right? But take away that as a normal fan, you turn up to Celtic Park, you might get to see them walking in with a trophy and that's brilliant, especially for kids. Oh, that's my hero, there's McGregor, there's Jesus, right? Brilliant. In the stadium, we can't all we're doing in the stadium is a normal game. And then after it, it's still amazing, by the way, seeing your team win a trophy, right? I've seen a headline the other day, apparently.
Flag day is
aye,
the same.
that's what I mean, aye.
When you're unveiling the league flag and want to start the season on a high. It's the same again, mate. Everything's all air.
Because I seen a headline the
all air
other
in
day,
the past.
again, apparently Celtic being dominant, it's boring again. It's boring Celtic winning trophies. Well, I'm sorry. I seen my team's not boring winning trophies. I
And
cherish
yeah,
every
it's
trophy
tedious, isn't it?
because see when we didn't win the Scottish Cup, oh, I saw a final for Scottish football because Celtic didn't win it. It's just that it doesn't work like that. But on that, JP, I think it should be a lot more engagement. There should be a longer time after the game. Listen, I get they've got maybe time frames for
Yeah.
nights out and meals and family time. I get it. But surely 45 minutes or something after the game, they can't go around like, even wave at the fans. And
Thing is,
I'm not,
Ryan, is we've been there all season, mate. The thing is we've
that's what
been
I
with them
mean.
all season. We've been
Mhm.
there all season. We've been on that journey with them, and for so long now, mate. There seems to be this disengagement
It's just to give
between,
something back, JP, because
yeah.
I don't listen. I know the success, and listen, I get it all right. But the actual trophy day, I think it should be maybe like he says, even before you go to a fan park, before the game, like he says, painting for the kids. There should be a wee replica trophy. There should be an ex-player outside greeting some of the kids, and
Not even that, mate. On trophy day there, Martin O'Neill was there. He was with the TV. So
mhm,
he could have took half an hour out of that
that's
schedule
what I
and come
mean.
out and done 40s
By the
and
way, even if Celtic need to pay him, know what I mean? To go and do
well,
it. I'm
even
sure he
that.
would. I'm sure if Celtic gave him a few hundred quid or a few grand, he would do it. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. He should in for nothing. See if I'm an ex-player, I shouldn't have to get
Sanchez was
paid.
there, I know, mate. He's another
Aye,
one that could have been out there.
that's one. That's one of the only things that maybe bugs me with ex-players. Right, period. I know you might need money for it might be only job you're doing speakers nights or whatever else, but
You could
see
have,
if I'm an ex.
by the way, a perfect, sorry, Ryan, to cut in, mate,
That's right.
a perfect idea there to have had the man involved. He did say on the warm up he was gutted he wasn't invited. Apparently, he never got the invite. But we could have done a wet sponge throwing for the kids for Big Chris Boyd. So, he could have been involved. That way he could. That way he's not having to miss out in total. So
It's like see even like obviously what happened at Liverpool was horrendous and thoughts to any family members that have been hurt in that. It's tragic news what happened. They were in a parade with Calvin Harris. Liverpool
yeah,
Council let them do what they want. We do that through George Square. It's oh that's bad. You can't drink. You can't do this. Can't do that. You're too loud. You can't celebrate. There's a stick. I can mind me one of was it treble, and the bus. The police had to make the bus change ways so the Celtic fans couldn't go and see them.
I was
It's
walking through George Square one day and I seen a guy cuddling a line. I said, "What are you doing, mate?" He said, "Make sure this doesn't get hurted, but the Celtic fans
aye.
coming."
Honestly, JP, am not going to sit here and say swear words because it's not that type of show.
No,
But
of course no, of
it's
course
very
no.
frustrating, mate. That I want
Yeah,
to, but it's effing ridiculous that we can't get an open top bus or a parade to go and celebrate a treble. I don't understand how it can be done. What's the council go against? Even name across the water,
yeah.
Aberdeen, whoever it is. I guarantee you, by the way, see if Aberdeen won the league, guarantee you they'll be having open top parades. There'll be shops giving them free alcohol, free sausage rolls, free this, get your whatever. It'll be a celebration. It'll be brilliant. Yeah, here it's well done. He won the league, see you later.
That's the
It's
way it feels, Ryan, and that's the way to me it felt in the stadium. Don't change has come in with a great idea to upgrade the kiosk. He says, "Get Greg's in." There we go.
by the way, they would sell it and make a packet on that. I
You
know.
see people walking through the kiosk shouting, "Throws a steak bake."
Aye, throws a state break. Aye,
Francis, good evening, mate. Hope you're well. He says, been
evening,
saying
mate.
for the last 2 seasons, boys, we always seem to invite trouble and criticism. Um, yeah, yeah, it's one of the two things that do follow us. Good evening, Scott. Hope you're well, pal. As Anjem says, trophy day equals party day, or it should be. It's the same with flag day. Listen, it's the same with flag day. What about the Michael Beale, the Beale deal,
And Michael Beale deal, aye.
the Beale deal? Know what I
And
mean?
get that in Greg's, aye.
I get that, and Greg's. Aye, but the thing is you can, you it doesn't. I mean, we're just two guys sitting here on a podcast, Ryan, as Celtic fans, coming up with ideas, mate. There's people get paid to be PAs and events coordinators and events organisers and everything else in that club who for somehow haven't come up with us to modernise these kind of days, because it's the same stuff all the time. I get it's a dog eat dog world and there's businesses out there, and the idea is for businesses is to progress and make money. I understand all that, right? And I'm not asking 1 minute here for Celtic to give everything away free. That's not what I want. But once a year, or at least that day, it wouldn't hurt Celtic to stick on a family thing or pay for kids to come and sit with Hoopy or do something with Hoopy outside, or get your get your photos taken, as Ryan says, with the ex-players, and get photos taken with Hoopy, get your face painted, have a free burger or hot dog, or have something on that you can. In my opinion, I don't think that would cost Celtic a lot of money, Ryan, to supply, just for one day. Even have a guy doing a magic show or a guy doing, just something to entice the veins into, another. What about, we could get Rob Douglas done and have beat the goalie.
like you do that, you
Ryan,
generally could.
Ryan, I know you're laughing. I know you're laughing, mate.
No, you
Even
generally
somebody
could.
like a Johnny Gould, Stuart Kerr, even Packy Boner. Just for a laugh, just for a bit of entertainment with the kids, and they beat the goalie and have Celtic Park in the surrounding area. A Celtic Park line is massive. It's big enough for things like that to have happened. And not even that, to add in a fan zone there for fans to be able to go and enjoy a beer just before the game, or in a protected area at the stadium. Put a big screen up and show the highlights of the way they did before the Scottish Cup final, and show the highlights of the season. Why were we there that day? What were we there for? Well, we're there to see we're there to see Celtic lift the trophy. But there's what they've done to get here. There's what they've done to have yous in that day. They should have a DJ in, Ryan, in my opinion, entertaining the fans before the game and after the game, before the team get the trophy. There should be more made of certain individual players, guys like Daizen Maeda, get player of the year. So make a big deal about that, make a fuss about him when he's coming out. Talk about what he's achieved this season. Young Engels coming from a new country, blah, blah, blah. Talk about what they've done. You get young player of the year. Talk about that. Talk about, Napoli made a deal about every individual, Ryan. It took ages, mate. It took about an hour and a half for a ceremony to finish.
Yep.
You look at the Super Bowls, Ryan, and you look at things like, they're just opening ceremonies for things. Celtic are winning something. They're getting a trophy. So make a big deal about it. Engage the fans. Engage with the fans. Have a competition running for weeks. Fans get to go down and talk through the PA and ask certain players questions, or everybody, I'm going to try and enter that competition. Everybody wants to do that. Everybody would want to talk to them. So, as I say, mate, there's got to be an idea out there that somebody in there that is an events coordinator or events organizer. We're not asking to move heaven and earth. That's not what we're asking here. We're asking for a modernisation and a wee bit of thinking outside the box, Ryan, when it comes to raking a days, because they're becoming very predictable, and they're becoming very, very disappointing, because you're turning up and you know what to expect. You're getting a free flag, and it's at your seat now when you get in. I don't know who does that, by the way. I don't know if that's Celtic that do that, or the North Curve, or any of the supporting groups.
It wasn't rain, because they try to do something, and the board said no.
Yeah, I seen that as well. And that's another thing as well. So the communication between the board and the fan base, that's another biggie line. That seems to be something that's getting lost here in translation somewhere. It's as if the communications, you know,
For
it's
me,
not
for
quite
me, it
there
just
and
for
it's breaking
me,
down somewhere.
I'll just be honest, mate, and say what I say. For me, they're out of touch. Like you said, you need to modernise. I think some of the board members are dinosaurs. Some of the team behind the scenes are dinosaurs. They need to move forward with new ideas. Well, me and you are only talking about this, right? And I'm not a businessman, JP, but I like to think I could get 15, 20 of your mates just say with a wad of money and go, right, lads, next season, if we win the league, right, we'll do this. We'll make sure we get involved with the police, with Celtic, we'll do all this, we'll do what we can. I guarantee you we can get close to ending up if the club let you there. So rocket science to go, right, we're going to win the league, we'll try and get permission for, if it's the council, the government, whatever it is to do this, and we'll do that. It doesn't include alcohol, it could be just soft drinks, whatever.
Yeah,
It could be
yeah,
something just to make the fan experience of that day better. Um, Part of me actually does say the club don't care about the fans in that way because it just seems it's all about business. Listen, what I've been in football a long time. I know I might not be business head screwed on. I'm not maybe the brightest in terms of mathematics, but I know clubs need to have money. They need to earn money. They need to bring money in. They need to take money out and in and out. I get all that, right? And the club's got to move forward. The club's got to make money. The club's got to sell merchandise. They've got to do this. But it just seems that everything's a price. You go and see Martin O'Neill, you need to pay and see that. You need to pay extra for Toby Day to do this, you need to pay that. You need if you want to go to a festival sometimes, you might need to pay that.
no,
It's
that's the
everything's
thing, Ryan. I do get. Listen, I get the
I
business
do
side
get it,
and the
but the fans need to
commercialisation of
get
the club
you
and
need
stuff.
to
I do
get
get that, I know, but
but like
I
you
do
said,
understand
aye. Like
they
you
need
said
to,
in terms
a wee bit of come and go with the fans, Ryan. And
in
that's what I
terms
mean. And
of
that's
what
what
you're saying,
oh,
mhm,
I'm not asking for everything free, right?
no.
I know Francis is saying here the fans do pay quite a bit of money in terms of their merchandise and everything they buy from the shops. And, you know, it's a couple of strips every year they're bringing out. So sometimes a few, and sometimes they bring out this extra one and it's, you know, it's special edition and, you know, this, that, and the next thing. And then they're bringing out clothing brands as well, made by Adidas into the shop that have got the Celtic logo and stuff. And as Francis says, it is quite expensive.
But JP will put out
And I'm not
training
asking
gear,
for them to
right?
give everything away free.
They'll put out training gear and then 2 months later they'll put a clothing line and then 2 months later, because it's either after Christmas or before Christmas, it'll be a limited edition clothing line. You're like, how much money? I know it's your choice to buy it, but if you love Celtic and your wages potentially like Celtic, your family like Celtic, even your dog might like Celtic, right? I know it's tongue in cheek, but there's an option for you to go and buy it and you're thinking, right, Dad, I want that new well, son, even if you can't afford food that week, your boy or lassie wants that strip. You don't
Yeah.
want to disappoint them. You're going to go and buy it. But it's 60 quid, 70 quid. It used to be about 40 quid a full strip. Now it's nearly 150 quid. And then you need to pay your season book. And then you need to pay probably a training gear because your boy wants it or your son wants it. Then you need to go to travel to the games. You don't even get a 5% discount after your season book. Even a fiver after strip. And like you said, you're going there all season, you're paying your money. Some people pay loads of money before the game, after the game. I don't want to turn this into a merchandise podcast because it's a thing about Toby Day, but you turn up with your family, right? See if you get a cheaper ticket or you get a discount off your season, your ticket that day. You might go and get your boy a scarf. You might actually get him an extra pie, or you might go and get
Yeah.
him a programme because you can afford it because you've had a bit of a discount after. It's wee small things that surely it's not just me and you made up thinking this. How can somebody at the club no think, right, there was only there was 5,000 spare seats at the Granny Saturday. How can we get 5,000 more in? Right, no what it is, we'll put out even for 1 week, right, concessions are free. Right, concessions are free. So you can take your daughter, you take your kid, I can take whoever, right? A young cousin or whatever, right? But knowing I'm going to buy a pie, I might buy them a juice, I might buy them a programme, I might buy them a scarf. So
Mhm.
you're kind of covering your book already and you're getting people on the run.
Yeah.
Surely that's the rocket science,
It's the
IPS.
same as well. I mean, years gone past before COVID and stuff, Ryan, we used to get a lot of pre-season.
Mm-hmm.
book package, and it would either be a Champions League qualifier or maybe the first game that was coming around in Europe. And yeah, I mean, I understand the business side of things, and I do understand that Celtic also need to make money as well, right? I do get that. Like I says, we're not asking for them to move heaven and earth. We're asking them to move with the times a wee bit here in terms of modernising a fan day experience on a match day. Now, I'm not talking about, it doesn't need to be all season, by the way. I'm talking about trophy day. The actual trophy presentation day is very, very bare minimum.
Mhm.
And that's where they need to be looking at, because again, I'm sorry to mention it again. You look at Napoli, you look at the one with Bologna when they won the cup. We're so, Ryan, honestly, mate, look at PSG when they won the league there. What they've got underground, they've got DJs, they've got this, they've got that. Luis Enrique's over there talking to this group of fans, and then he was over there talking to this group of fans. Then he was, we are so far behind the times, mate. It is unbelievable. The manager does like a 2-minute chat with the guy that's a compere at Celtic Park, announcing the team lines, and he does all the announcements. And excuse my ignorance, folks, I actually don't know the guy's name. It's something I've never known. However, that just felt like a 2-minute Sky interview, and it was just like a wham bam, thank you, man. Boom, down the tunnel. See you later. And that's, you're standing there, mate, and you feel a bit dejected. You feel a wee bit, is that it? Know that I don't want to come across ungrateful here, but you're like, hold on, man, I've been up for dead early this morning looking forward to this today and came here, and that's it. And it's like, cheers. And it's just a case of, we'll see you on next season. Thanks for coming.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do a wee bit more, man. You need to, like, especially kids. Kids are there looking to see their stars. Kids are there looking to see guys that they're heroes, And there's not enough engagement for me with that, Ryan. There's really no. And I just think that, like I says, mate, we're two guys sitting on a podcast chatting about this. We can't be the only ones that have got a brain to go, right, what we doing about this?
And by the way, see, even if they've done things outside the ground, right, in terms of if it's a fan zone or they go to green, right, they can maybe charge some money for certain things. It would then make more money for club as well, because fans you can sell merchandise at the fan park, but you can give maybe free painting, like you said, a free burger, a free juice for Wayne's own entry or whatever, photos with Tom Boyd, whatever, etc. They're all free. You can maybe even Toss McKinley, whoever, can go on stage and talk about their old times. That can be free, but after you get all that for free, they might go and buy a strip that's on sale. Celtic can maybe go and take their own merchandise at the fan park. Maybe I'm thinking that maybe people might be too drunk and might not date right, but see if it's
Well, see,
policed
the thing is,
properly.
I mean, here's an idea, Ryan, right? So you've got guys like Jota, who's injured, right? He was going to miss the season. As far as my knowledge is, he wasn't even at Celtic Park the day we got the league trophy, is what I've been told.
As far as I'm
I don't
aware,
know if
I didn't see
if
him.
information is correct, however, but there's a perfect example, right? Rio Watati as well. So Rio Watati's kicking about in crutches. So Rio Watati's not playing. So it's not like he needs to be in the dressing room, he needs to be there, So why not have Rio Watati sitting on a chair at the Celtic Superstore for an hour? And you go there at a certain time and you can get your photo taken with him. He's injured. And then he gets his escort across to Celtic Park just before the game or whatever to go and then relax and do what he's doing. It takes an hour of his time now.
I just think in general, JP, when it comes to that, in terms, I know it's drifting away a wee bit but it's on fan engagement, right? Some people might go to Dublin and
Sorry, Ryan, hold on. Smell Glove says, I'd rather Jota be away getting treatment. I wasn't meaning that. I was going to use Jota as an example for that, what I just said about Rio Watati.
Aye. Mm-hmm.
See, for, like, in terms of these guys are injured, so they're first team players. However, they're not currently playing. They're not currently there and being asked to be on duty. So the idea is to have them doing something with the kids, doing something, like signing autographs or having photos done. And I'm just trying to come up with, I mean, that's just a simple thing, Ryan. That's not even something that's very hard. I mean, that could be well organised in terms of security and everything that Celtic already employ on that day. So,
but see, it shouldn't be hard, JP, because see realistically, right? Most of it's probably going to be kids, right? Listen, I'm an adult, right? But I still love seeing, if I walk past McGregor, oh, there's McGregor, geez, or mate, oh, hi, King, how you doing?
that's what I'm saying.
But I'd be able, getting to my age now, I wouldn't ask for 40, right? But see if I had a wee young person, me, look, Callum, look, he loves you, man. Is that all right if I get a 40 with you or whatever? Like, that's fine. But unless you meet one of these guys out the street and they're nice enough and you're polite to them to engage with you like that, unless you go to games, JP, you're never going to see them. So
Yeah.
if there's an opportunity, if it's for like even half an hour, JP, outside the run, first come, first serve, Hatati's going to be there, but please don't crowd round him. There's going to be police or security. Just go and get a photo of him, say hello, next off you pop, next person.
Aye.
But by that might make a guy's day. Now, me and you've been down to Sheffield with Baz. He sees every rain, he gets photo with any adult, photo with any kids.
Man, you were
and
standing in the Hillsborough Tunnel, man, and Bruni walked by you, and I seen how excited you
I
got,
know.
man, when you were playing Fleetwood that day.
But Baz is getting all the fans a wee chat or the photos, brilliant, right? Absolutely fantastic, right? Because Baz doesn't do that.
He's
But
told us,
he's
but
aye,
many times
aye.
he's told us he'll never ever walk by him.
But that wee Wayne that got a photo with Baz, he might remember that for the rest
Well,
of his days.
remember that wee boy? Remember the wee boy with the hat on? The wee boy with
I remember him, aye, aye, aye.
the like at me. Did you see
His
his
face,
face when he seen
his face
Baz?
lit
Because
up.
he's dad went like that. There's Barry Bannon, and the wee didn't believe his dad. And me and you were standing at the side, and then
His
the wee
face
boy.
lit up like an absolute Wembley light.
Oh, it would be like one of us meeting Larson.
Aye,
Honestly,
that's what I'm saying.
that's
Aye.
what that was like.
It's small things like that, mate, that might make that kid like meeting Rio Tati. And it might not even make me a Tati, it could be any player that's known the squad or even a young up and coming player
Yeah.
could sit and just have a chat with listen, maybe we are saying things here that might not be possible. I think it can be possible,
No,
but if
no,
somebody
no.
who is if
There's no
somebody
way
who's
that can be possible,
if
right?
somebody
Not
who's in the marketing team at Celtic, by the way, or somebody who's involved in Celtic, probably on the scene, that's right. But if you'd like to ever come on or whatever and say this is the reasons why, if it's Celtic, if it's the government, if it's the SFA, whoever it is, explain how wee small things like this can happen for the fans because listen, I'm like you. I don't want to sound spoiled. I don't want to sound entitled. I'm not saying that one league's and all that's not enough, right? Because it's still amazing, right? But it's making the day a day to remember. Like you say, you walked away
yeah.
seeing that, right? Yes, lead trophy, brilliant. Oh, last minute draw, good goal. Jace Forrest, brilliant. All right, some fireworks. Yes,
But by
brilliant.
the way, do you know what really
It's
kills me as well off the back of that? That day, apart from the Forest goal, mate, and the way the stadium went, and that to celebrate that, it was a draw. Mate, the performance level wasn't the best either.
no, it wasn't.
And and again, I'm being really candid here. So when you've done that, and then you come out and it's like wham bam, thank you, see you later, bye bye. You feel even more dejected a wee bit, Ryan, as a fan, going, well, hold on a minute, man. You know, that was the last game of the season, the last game of the league season. Somebody, by the way, there is some real unfortunate people out there who unfortunately can't go back next season. And they won't be able to go back next season, can't afford it because of the amount of increase there's been with season books this season coming for the next season. So this is what I'm saying about the lack of engagement with the supporters. See, even if you don't want to have it that day, and the players are that busy, blah blah blah, organise something for the next day, and ask fans to come back the next day and put something on. It doesn't need to be the day trophy day, but see during that trophy day, I'm afraid what's going on just now for me, Ryan, isn't cutting it, mate. You're not cutting it, and I'm afraid it doesn't cost that much more to get DJs in, to get people in, changing the way things are, because it's no rocket science. Like I say, Steve, I've just gave a great example there of a guy who's injured and he's no part of that team. He could have went out and took photos with people, even if it took up an hour of his time. See, for me, Ryan, I personally think that should be part of players' contracts.
To spend time with the fans.
100%, mate. 100%. Why else would you, you know, why else would you be there? Why else would you be doing it? You play football at that level, and the biggest attraction, one of the biggest attractions at Celtic is the fans, Ryan. That's what I mean. The club's well renowned for it. We comment there for and Jem, but you'll keep buying your season ticket, JP. But again, it's the same with anything regarding merchandise, regarding anything about the club. It's a personal choice. So, but I'm afraid a lot of thought went into this, whether I was renewing or not, Ryan. A lot of, we're now at a point where I'm going, right, moving forward, mate, again, if there's another increase next year, you're then at a point going, is this justifiable?
Mm-hmm.
Realistically? And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one in that bracket sitting saying that now. But the trophy day for me, Ryan, is a special day. It should be a big day for the fans. And right now, is it being a big day for the fans? I don't think so, mate. I think there's a lot more they could be doing to improve that day. And I do hope somebody at the club has seen this, because I think it's something that's needed to be said for a while, and it's something that they really need to think about. Now, we're not, like I say, we're not asking them to climb mountains and go up the south face of Everest here. We're asking them just to think a wee bit outside the box. Yeah. I can remember when that used to happen. I know of nights that, Tommy Johnston, Jackie McNamara, they were getting sent out to functions up in East Kilbride and Chapel Hall and places all around the place that were going to different functions, Ryan. It was all through Celtic's charities and everything else, mate, and they were going to see that. So yeah, like I says, but it doesn't take much, mate, to think outside the box and really, really, what's the best word to say? Really, really use your noodle and say to yourself, what can we do better? Because now it's just the bare minimum, Ryan, and that's all we're getting on a trophy day. Not that I'm moaning about the actual trophy presentation and the day itself, because that's the at the beginning. There's certain clubs, mate, that can't even win a trophy.
See, in terms of, I've seen a few comments about fan groups and that and all. Listen, I know we're maybe knows in terms of podcast or just in general, we're no celebrity fans, right? So the chance of us getting in with the boardroom and in functions are in probably not happen, right? But it should be fans who are properly in about the club, properly get opinions. If it's season book orders, whatever, right? Listen, we're all fans, whether you're a book order or no, but if you're a book order, you obviously you get the games. You obviously you see the games, right? I get that, right? But there should be two. I know there's supporters clubs and there's people involved in supporters clubs that one or two might go to meetings with the club in terms of ticketing and whatever else, away games. I get all that, right? But there should be, like I say, they put out that survey a while ago. There's been nothing about that survey yet. Nothing. No fan engagement saying, we're going to improve this, we're going to improve that. And I get a comment for John there, guy. I don't know who you are, Joe. I've seen you before, John, but he says that just because you buy a season book doesn't mean you can't demand better. You're spot on, John. Just because you win trophies and everything else doesn't mean doesn't mean you can't demand a better fan experience on the if it's the website, if it's how they go about communicating me, if it's like JP says and we've spoken about the trophy day, the flag day, even European games. I've spoken about it for years, and by the way, it's not against anybody that goes to Celtic Park and sing. It's not against anybody that's been to Celtic Park for years, and it's Celtic should be putting on a match day experience for derby games and European games in my opinion only, that it's ferocious, it's boom, boom. If it's like a DJ JP, massive tunes, get the
That's what I'm
players.
saying.
Aye,
Something simple. It doesn't need to
that's
be
what I
somebody
mean.
playing the guitar all the time. And by the way, that's no a dig at anybody here because
It's no.
that's also a good thing as well. But change it up. Bring in a DJ. Bring in
That's what I
something
mean.
before the
Aye,
game.
it's just a different
Turn
experience.
the disco lights on if it's a nighttime game, but have somebody there, that's really creating that kind of vibe before the game. Because
It's like you said there, right? Napoli, right? The DJs, right? And all that stuff, right?
yeah,
But they've got that atmosphere. See, if you go to Germany, I've been to a few games in Germany, Spain, right? It's all the same atmosphere every game. It doesn't matter if it's a league game, cup game, European game. They all run up to the fans and they all engage with the fans, and it's all boom, boom. They're all on tours before the game. They've got big tifos out. They've got pyros. It's what an atmosphere. In Scotland, you took out a pyro and you can get jailed for it.
mm-hmm.
I can't. No Celtic fan is going to come on to his mate and go, here, mate, I'm going to hit you with this pyro. It's for a reason. It's to create atmosphere and it's create light. I get people have got asthma and maybe, what's it called, epilepsy, and I get all that, right? So it's got to be done safely and done in a right manner. But see if things are done properly. JP, maybe me and you are maybe just talking out our asses here, right? I don't think we are. Sorry if people think that's fair. I'm just
I
saying.
don't think.
But
I don't think we are
I think it's all
personally either,
viable.
Brian.
I
I
think it's
think
all
we've got a
viable
valid
here.
point, mate.
Aye, and it's small things that the club are mapping on the day. And like you say, if anybody for the club seen this would like to come on and say, this is the reasons why we can't do it, this is the reason we can, this is why we can't. Please tell us or any other Celtic podcast or any other fan group, explain why. Because it will stop the conversation because we're at least the type of Celtic Park JP sometimes, and look, sometimes I think the Celtic Park atmosphere can be a bit of a myth sometimes, right? See if the Green Brigade and the boys on the singing or we're not really playing well, it's a bit, like, something's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes on the park, if like Scott Brown used to put in a tackle, as the fans up in there, boom, atmosphere kicks off. It's small things like that on the park that actually affect off the park as well.
Yeah.
So I just believe, JP, that the full trophy day, fan day, flag day, just any normal day at the club. Right, one thing that I think could be a tester
I know
party for
this has
this.
went an hour, mate, but
No, listen, it's fine.
I
Listen,
know
it's a good conversation, mate. So,
I know other people talk about pet peeves and everything else. That's just been something that's been annoying me for a wee while now.
mate, it's me and all. The twos are passionate about this, mate. So, one thing I think it'd be a good tester pilot for it, and I'll let you back on this, mate, because it's just come into my head. I've already
Aye.
spoke to you about it. The Newcastle game, right? There's maybe going to be 30,000, 35,000 possibly.
Do you
right?
think so, Ryan?
I think so. No,
Do
I'm
you not
not. I
think
mean,
that'll be near enough a sellout because of the level of position we're
it
playing
might
in?
depend on people's holidays and that as well. Obviously, the pricing, people are not
Yeah, it
happy
is
with
about
pricing
the summer,
either.
right enough. Aye.
People are not happy with price either. So there could be loads of things. People might not want to go because it's a friendly or might be busy with a family. I don't know, right? But why not do like a wee mini fan park outside, be face painting, beat the goalie, turn up and instead of you're free at the game, you can maybe go and get a free coffee and a roll sausage, or the kids can go and get a free fruit shoot and whatever. DJ at the Grun, welcome the Newcastle players and welcome
Gary
Celtic
Baines
fans
a
in.
chance and bring back Shaka Hislop for beat the goalie.
Aye. But you could test it like that, JP. You could put a wee mini festival, hang outside, beat the goalie, get photos with some of the players.
Dairy full hog, get dairy custard pie thrown and on, get Ann
Aye.
Deck up and put her heads through the hang for it.
But I don't know what you think on that, or any of the viewers or commenting if you think that the Newcastle pin could be a good thing to do that. I don't know, JP, but for me, I think that could be a good way to pilot it. Just put out a wee mini festival for kids, even for adults as well. Ex-players or guys who are known the squad, youth players kicking about, taking autographs, speaking to the players, speaking to the fans. I don't know, mate. Tell me if that's a crazy solution, but I'm just trying to think of something. If you can't get the gate for nothing, at least give you something, a discount or something, just for because that might be, by the way, that could be a Wayne's first game. And imagine they see that, da mum, whoever it's taking them, is this what happens?
Well,
You get to do this, and I
I'm
know,
sort of in that
I know,
bracket
aye.
as Plunges just says there, I take it you're going to pay the £25. It's actually going to cost me more because I'm taking my son to that game. So It's going to be his first attendance at Celtic Park properly. He's been in and done like the tour, and he's been in the number 7 lounge having some food, etc. But he's never actually been on a match day. So I'm going to take him along to that game. So I'm actually going to have to. It's going to cost me more than 25 quid if I'm being honest, Plunge. But yeah, mate, I'm going to do that for my wee man. Just as Ryan says. But again, Ryan, I think you're spot on, mate. There should be other things there that that's also going to entice me down there with the wee man as well, and really and show him and what an experience it will be for him to be there for his first time.
Like I say, I'm just trying to think here, or even the playoff game. That could be a game where you can pilot it, where it's a massive game for the club. We need to win. We need to go through that playoff to get the big money, the finances, the big European format of the Champions League. We need to win that game.
Yes.
So that's where you could use it again. Get a DJ playing, or get the atmosphere pumping, get things outside the ground. If JP,
we know a couple of DJs I find it would be well willing to get him a horn, mate, wouldn't we?
Just say you and Big Bev and get it sorted, man. But
I'll play up the Lisbon Lions and we'll send him down to Jokestina and we'll get it
again,
going.
JP, people listen to this and think we are maybe
fairly dueling banjos, we'll be dueling DJs.
I think people think we are maybe saying things that are maybe, how do you explain it? It's too good to be true, it's not going to happen. Listen, that's fine. But I just don't know how small things that we have mentioned tonight can happen. And I would actually like somebody for the club or somebody who's involved, even if it's not in Celtic, somebody that knows about this in football in Scotland, going to come on and explain why these things can't be introduced, because it can't be financial. Listen,
if there's anybody, they're more than welcome to get in touch with us.
Because listen, the club have got money sitting there, right? They're going to get money for the season books. They're going to get money for the playoff. They're going to get money for players coming out, wages getting out. They're going to get money for a lot of things, right? So it's not a financial aspect. It's not they can't afford an extra 100 pies, 100 fruit shoots, or they can't afford to pay Tom Boyd to sit outside. And that and all, JP, see ex-players, in my opinion, doing that for the fans. That should be out their choice, and they should. I shouldn't be. It's like me, see if I was a legend at Celtic, right, I'm going to be going to Celtic Park, right, I want pay the grant to sit and talk to the Bains. Like, surely that's where you've got to come and go with yourself here. Listen, they respect you. I guarantee you, see if I went to a Celtic event, right, and I found out that somebody was getting like $5,000 for doing a bit, well, wait a minute here. You can't be on. But we have worshipped you for years, and then when we need to pay loads of money just to see you talk about the things that we've already seen.
Aye.
I get it's a job, JP. I get some of these ex-players I've got jobs, and listen, I'm not talking about the guys that do the speaker circuit or the guys that go and I'm not talking about that. What I mean is, if they were expecting to get paid to go and visit the kids and stuff, I'm wait a minute here. Right, go for an hour. Take autographs, speak to the kids about Celtic. Listen, remember, this you need to do to grow up to be a Celtic player, this and that. Make sure you're playing football. Just, JP, if I'm Looney Tunes here, if people think that maybe me and you are...
Listen, mate, I think you're bang on. I really do. It doesn't take... Listen, manners doesn't cost you nothing in these situations either, Brian. And Jem, have you contacted anyone, guys? No, we actually haven't, and Jem, we're going to... It's probably something myself and Ryan have been very passionate about for a number of months now. And could be onto something there as well, Ryan. We could be onto something there, but if I'm wanting to give people ideas, if they would be willing to listen. However, I don't know. I don't know how far.
It probably charges a grand to talk to us.
The next time we're doing it at Celtic Park doing any wee chats, Ryan, maybe we should chat the door, mate. We never know.
Peter.
But there
you go.
Is Pedro coming out?
There you go. It's a good one there. A free tour of Celtic Park. It costs you about £15 to see the tour. There you go.
Yeah.
Just a wee small, even discounted tours, by the way. There you go.
Yeah.
There's one we've spoke about. Discounted tours. See if you're a season, see if you're a season about called a JP, right? I firmly, no, listen, this is no against anybody who's not about Corder, because I wasn't about Corder for a long time. So it's not about me being one now or whatever. I wasn't one for a while. You should get discounts on if it's the shop, if it's the stadium tours, if it's the meals in Celtic Park. You should be able to get something because, like you says, what apart from it, again, I don't want, I'm not what to sound entitled here, but apart from winning on the park, right? What are you actually getting outside of that fan experience wise? Let's be fair.
Yeah.
What are you getting? Because that's no guaranteed. We could
Mhm.
win nothing next year. We could win nothing for 3 years, 2 years. We might
Yeah.
not even sign a player. I know we will, but I'm just saying it's just winning stuff is in the future. We're talking about the present, and
Yeah.
in my opinion, and I'll let you back in this, mate. My opinion is the club can probably work with the government, if it means the government or the SFA, whoever it is that's going to be involved in all this. I'm sure they can work with people and get things sorted between if it's fan parks, if it's fan experiences, if it's parades, if it's whatever it is. Surely they've got to sit down as adults and go, right, alcohol, no alcohol, whatever it is, let's get something sorted because it's like you say, JP, we're well behind the times behind certain countries.
We certainly are in terms of the way we and match day experiences, etc. We definitely are behind the times. I mean, I've only just watched. I don't normally watch Italian football, but because Napoli were ready to win, and then I seen that wee vlog regarding Paul Slane, and I watched the open goal one that he did when he went over. It just looked amazing. It looked absolutely
Mhm.
amazing, and just the people that Paul spoke to on that vlog, they were just so friendly. But they were nuts at the same time. They were all mental, and the weather was nice, and it was just a party, Ryan. It was just it kind of made me want to. I want to go to an Napoli game now.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? I
Mhm.
want to go and experience that myself. How much do they love McTominay, by the way?
Well, see on that. Sorry, to cut you in. See,
McFratamar, calling him.
see when we see. Obviously, I've been away to see Celtic abroad a few times, right? Very rarely do I see trouble. All the Celtic fans are all getting involved with the locals. There's the odd pyro, we're all dancing, we're all singing, we're all
Yeah.
having a good time. There was a fan park doing it at Aston Villa.
But the
Aston Villa done
Diego Maradona
aye,
mural and all that, Ryan, that looked
brilliant, mate. Aye.
sensational, by the way.
But see, how can Celtic not do that? Even by the way, see, even for away fans, see, instead of getting them in George Square or Weatherspoons, maybe potentially make the mess of the city, which by the way I've never seen for away fans. I'm just talking about as a solution. Why can they not put in even the green, put a fan park for Aston Villa fans or
Apparently
Birmingham
they were
fans
talking
or
about
whoever it is?
apparently they were talking about doing a bit of the London Road. They were doing a Rob Douglas mural, but it was all potholes
Aye.
everywhere, mate. So they decided against it.
And that as well is a good comment from Scott Howe. See if you're about Cawdor, really about Glasgow, surely they can go with first bus as well. Listen, you get either discounted bus travel or you get free.
Well,
JP, these are small things.
this is why German football shut down for nearly 2 years, and this is what they
Yep,
done. They
yep.
revamped all that, Ryan, and you get free match day travel on a match day. You get free
Mm,
travel, whether it be tram cars,
yep.
buses, trains, you get lower, man.
We'll
You
see
get
on
free
that actually.
as
Aye.
long as you can present what match you're going to,
It's a good
you
point
travel
you've
free.
mentioned because
It's
when
like,
I went to the Leipzig game with my dad,
God, you
and
go on a
we
first
stayed.
class here, you tell them I'm going to a Celtic
Aye,
game, man. I'll charge you double
I know,
fare.
I know. And we stayed in Berlin, right? So I had to obviously get a tram. Well, we thought it was a bus, but it's a metro tram, right, into the Alexanderplatz, and then we had to get the bus
Yeah,
to Leipzig, right? And me and my dad, first day, what we got to do? We'll go and get the town centre, walk a wee bit, get something to eat, whatever, get a coffee, get a beer, whatever. And we went on the bus, and there was like a backyard machine, like a ticket machine. And me and my dad like, "But Dad, how do we pay for this?" So we asked our German guys, like, no, you don't pay. Obviously you don't pay, but no, it says this is it's a thing so you don't use your car. It's to stop emissions, it's to stop people using the car and get fit, get healthy, walk to the bus, walk to the metro. So your trams are nothing for your work, forever. So the trams are for nothing in that bit of Berlin
hmm
because they don't want you to use your car. So it's less emissions, it's less people using car, people getting fitter, healthier, walking to the bus stop, walking to their work, whatever. So I was like, all right. So I didn't know that until I turned up there. And so we didn't pay for travel at all. Obviously, I paid for my travel from Leipzig to Berlin to Leipzig for the game on a bus, and a fan bus. But in terms of my travel in Berlin, didn't pay a penny. And it was all JP transport links were every 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Every tram was boom, 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 boom. Here the buses are 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour. The transport systems, everything's just...
Double time on a Sunday, mate. If it's Sunday service.
I think it goes back to what you said, mate. Everything here, where it's finances, if it's buying bread, if it's got to football games, if it's all behind. And then you go abroad, you're like, wow, like everything's
I remember
all...
waiting on a bus one day on a Sunday, Ryan. I waited that long. A bus came. I just jumped on it. It wasn't a bus I wanted. I just jumped on it to see where I was going.
You just
Honest to
jumped
God,
on it.
it was just cute. I waited that long, mate. It was team the rain. It was freezing, and I jumped on a bus just to see where it went to, for a laugh. I asked the guy, did it go near where I was going? He went, you're going to have to walk about 10 minutes. I went, that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
You're talking about buses, right? I know it's in conjunction with obviously the fan situation, right? No, just say it's me and you, right? Book orders, whatever, or even if we're no, right? Just say we're no, right? And we've got a Newcastle game, right? 25 quid, right? Me and you might go for a pint or two for the game, or even a juice, whatever, in a pub, right? We then decide to get the bus. Say you're £5 an all day or £2.50. Say we're going both ways.
How much
That's
an ticket is now, right?
about £5.50 or something, mate. Right?
Oh,
So, right? So you're nearly £6 on bus travel before you've even bought a ticket.
Right.
If you get a bus. If you get a taxi, depending where you stay, where am I? I'm maybe about £9, £8.50 to Celtic Park before I've even bought a pint, before I've even bought a juice. So if that was involved in terms of the buses, I would get the bus at the time, run about where I'm at, and then maybe walk 5 minutes to Celtic Park because I'm getting... People might drive, I don't people think that for cheapskates, it's no saying that. It's making the fan experience, knowing that if you're getting a bit of discount on all that stuff, you'll probably spend more at Celtic Park, i.e. buying maybe a strip or buying a replica training gear or a scarf, or you might actually, do you know what? I've saved £6 in my bus fare. I can now go and get a pie and a juice. It's me, JP, if we're saying something here that's lazy, then tell us, but I generally think it's valid points that the club, in my opinion, should listen and take them on board. People who are involved in the club should take on board and actually say, right, guys, let's have a chat, because I guarantee you there'll be a lot of other podcasts that might feel the same, but never done a podcast on it because it's maybe no keeping attention due to busy schedule, etc. Might be other things involved. But for me, I think it's something, not just Celtic, by the way, that a lot of clubs should highlight, because I think in general the Scottish football game needs marketed better, and it needs to be programmed in terms of making it incentive better.
Yeah, 100%, mate. The commercial side of things isn't really aimed for fans, in my opinion. It's no aimed for fans. I think we should even get a free programme.
JP, is it the European one's about £5?
That's what I'm saying. we should get a free match programme as we walk into the stadium as well. I don't think that's too much to ask for.
It's no, mate.
I seen Plungy's comment there about his brother. His brother's a pensioner, so he gets like a discounted season book. My dad's the same. That's
the way it should be. That's the way it should be.
My dad's the same. I'm just going to dye my hair grey and get a walking stick off somebody and kid on my dad and go with his ticket one time.
JP, it's no touching the grunt.
Aye. Mrs. Beggs wondering about the North Stand.
It's your other leg, JP. It's your other leg.
Aye. Yeah, there's a wee woman out there wanting to know if you walked it or you get the bus.
Oh, look.
So £5.90 for an oddie.
JP has got a sore leg, look.
With a pair he has a sore leg, aye. Aye. The wee woman walking along it, is he an incapacity rate? I know, it's brilliant. I've always been good at upside down reading. Tremendous. But listen, the commercial side of things is miles off, Ryan, in my opinion. And they need to look at that as well. The same way they need to look at a match day experience in the surrounding areas of Celtic Park for the fans. They need to ask themselves, how are the fans feeling here? Do the fans enjoy this? Are they asking the fans, do they enjoy it? Because I've never seen anything for us to give feedback on anything like this.
Well, that survey at JP was all about...
No, I know.
I've heard nothing.
I know. Nothing. But nothing... There's been nobody came back saying thank you very much. Or we've got all your surveys. We're going through this, blah, blah, blah. There's a specialised team. We'll get back to you in due course. There's been nothing. Absolutely nothing. But we need to change. We need to change. Like you says, Ryan, you mentioned the word dinosaurs about the, in terms of the
modernisation.
No, the level of mindset in the boardroom, and I slightly agree with you. There's other things of the club that are amazing, like the way the club's ran and the way they go about their business and what the club have managed to bring in terms of football transfer recruitments, football trading model, everything. All that side of things is top class. But it's unfortunate, Ryan, that there's other bits of that are falling by the wayside slightly in terms of they're not meeting the same standards. Celtic, I get they're a business. I'll always get the business side of things in terms of their need to try and make money. I understand that. What I would say in terms of merchandise and everything else, what would come back at us if we went with a gripe about that is, well, that's a choice. So you can choose to buy that, you can choose not to buy it. Like you says, Ryan, there's people out there with families of 4 and 6 and 5 and whatever, and they all want to know that. So, how do you tell 5 kids, no, he's only getting it? Unless you want Leonard as the dad, unless you want to doing. And they turn into what I seen out of Mr. Nanny, and you're Hulk Hogan and you're getting Leonard and hot with frying pans and all sorts of stuff. So, as I said, it's something I think they need to look. I know we're nearly the end here, Ryan, but it's something I do think that it's been annoying me for a wee while, mate. And being at that last trophy day there, and I just felt a bit dejected by it all, mate. I just felt as if I was standing there. I was going, is that is? I think we'll see you next season, boys.
I agree with you, mate. Again, I think we've spoken about here as well valid, JP. I don't think we've made something fabrication in terms of that couldn't possibly happen. There might be things that can't happen due to logistics or whatever, or health and safety, whatever. But that's where somebody who's involved in the club, or somebody who's involved in marketing for the club, or somebody who's in contact with the club can tell us as fans, this is why we can't do this. And
well, there you go. There's another comment there from Monty John too. He's replying to another comment from Francis. He says, I'm a pensioner. My season ticket is £403 for next season, and that's the North Stand.
By the way, that's fine. That's John. That's the way it should be. See if you're older than the
contact us at the end, Monty John, and I will get a line of your blue badge in that, mate. And
I've got a line of your client reference code.
I'll get a line of your client reference number, and we'll
but that's the way it should be, JP.
Email, see if I can get in.
But that's the way it should be, mate. It should be if the older you are, in terms of, again, that's not me going against it, but people who are old. I'm just mean in terms of if you're at that age, well, listen, people might be retired, if they're not in their full-time employment, then it should be reduced, that's fine. The club, by the way, that's fine on that part. That's something they've done well. But I think we mentioned tonight, mate, if somebody in the club or somebody out with the club is involved with the club could, if contact does or gears away, we can get somebody on board to speak to us about it, because it'd be good if there's things that can he do.
It's something now, Ryan.
100%.
I think it's something now we need to look into. We need to actually get. We need somebody to either.
Well, no people are going to date JP. It's a different question.
No, listen. There'll be somebody. I mean, even Anthony Joseph, he would know bits and bobs about stuff. I know he works for Sky and stuff, but we could speak to someone. I mean, it's got to be doable.
But I think that's the only way where that conversations like this wouldn't happen, is if we are told the reasons behind why they're not doing it, because it can be financial. And see all this excuse about alcohol. It doesn't need to involve alcohol. Alcohol does not need to be sold at the ground. It does not need to be involved in this at all. Maybe at the fan zones where it's policed and it's proper and whatever, that's fine. But at Celtic Park, don't include alcohol. Just make like you say, JP, make the experience for even because that JP, that could be your last game. It could be a kid's first game. It could be my first game. It could be anybody's first game, and you've walked away thinking, "What a day I had there! What an experience that was! I seen a DJ. I seen goals. I beat the goalie. It's
Yeah,
people might listen to this for other clubs and think these are crazy. Listen, that's fine, but I know there'll be fans
I
that
couldn't care less if
I know
somebody
that's
thinks
what I'm saying. I couldn't
I
care,
really
but
don't. Really,
there's
I'm at that point
fans.
now, mate, where
There'll
I
be
just
aye,
not care.
but there'll be fans who we know. There'll be fans that will probably watch this. I know will go. He's a right here, and they might think about things that oh, maybe we can do this, now, maybe we can do that now. And listen, mate, if we end up getting somebody on board to have a chat, brilliant. But I think it's something that the club need to look at, not just for on here, but in general, because like you've said, mate, we're falling by the wayside commercially in terms of that, fan experience, fan engagement, and something's got because see the only fan engagement you really get in the JPs when they go to JD Sports or they go and you need to turn up for half an hour to get your 42 at the
Yeah,
superstore. That's it. But apart from that, mate, it's getting a dying breed now where fans are actually getting to see the players at functions or without having to pay top dollar, like you say, mate, we're falling by the wayside, mate. And I think you definitely wrapped up in terms of we're miles away for other countries.
yeah. Sorry, I do apologise for anybody that thought I was just vacantly smiling at nothing there. My son's obviously heard me speaking about Celtic going to Newcastle games and stuff, and he's decided to come downstairs with this season's full kit on and parade about and give me a wave while I'm here.
Brilliant.
So I do apologise. I was getting a wee bit of entertainment there while Ryan was speaking. So aye, fair dues. I don't know why he's up at this point. Right enough, he should be in his bed, but he's a cancer. So I wonder where he gets that for. But yeah, mate, I think you've summed that up perfectly, and I do think it's something that we need to look into further because, like I say, it's been annoying me for some time. But again, you man, it's been a pleasure to come on and have a chat with you. I want to thank everybody else that's tuned in the comments,
Yep.
tuned in and watched us. Sorry if I bust your heads and ears. I was moaning about this, that, and the next thing. But I just think it's something, the season's finished, so it's something that I thought would be a decent enough topic to go at again tonight, and something that it needed to be said because, by the way, we will try and. You've got my word on it, folks. We will
Yep.
try and
We
make
will.
something happen from this, and we will definitely try and do it. And we will keep going until we get somewhere. So yeah, don't change says his dad lifted him over. Not sure what that means. I don't know if he means a wall or. I hope he's not done it tonight. Your dad's lifted you over tonight.
There's
Go
no
on
game
me.
on.
Go on me, but no, I was going to say that. Go on me, what's happening? I would imagine Celtic Park's empty just now. If you're there, don't change, and you've got the opportunity. Run on to the middle of the park and do a selfie in the middle of the halfway line, right in the centre circle. But no, I'm definitely going to see if I can get especially for the kids, Ryan. I'm going to look into see if we can get maybe big Grab Douglas for beat the goalie. That's definitely something we could maybe looking into today. Or, give the kids a chance to score. We could maybe get Magnus Hedman or something.
Scott Bain will back. Scott Bain will come back.
Aye. Don't go to new, Scott. Don't go to new.
Aye.
It's
Beat the
don't
goal
change
at
says
Celtic
we're
Park.
getting Greg's in. We'll get you a steak bake, mate. Just stay
Aye.
the new. We'll get you a wee steak bake for about it. And, but no, it's been a good chat, mate. Listen,
Yep.
I know you've said a couple of times tonight people might think we're Looney Tunes. They might do, but however, I don't care whether they do or not. And I think we can. There you go. Plunge says he's hadn't good authority. The Barcast is available, so we could maybe have the big man or Tony Warner, as what Big Alan loves giving him a shout, doesn't he? So maybe get Tony up. But Packy Bonner's looking good shape, by the way. I think Packy would be but first time like you get the old knee pads and that out again.
That's a good point for Kaiser there. It should be a privilege for players to. I get that. Again, Kaiser. It's no. Some players might not
I
be.
know what you're saying,
Aye,
but
but I know what you're saying.
we don't
Aye,
directly pay their wages.
aye.
However,
In a way,
I know what you
aye,
mean. In a
he's.
way, we do
Mhm.
contribute to a play. Listen, we're there all season as well, Kaiser. We're there supporting them. We're there singing their names. We're there doing, what we're doing our bit. For me, trophy day, them just coming and doing that and spinning round and then away they go. Ryan, I don't know about you there, mate, but that is I'm afraid that's after a few times of doing the same thing, mate, it becomes repetitive and very predictable.
Aye, I've got to change it up, mate. In the first bit you mentioned in the programme about changing the experience in terms of if it's DJing, if it's getting involved with the fans more, if it's Brendan Rodgers speaking for even longer, maybe handing it to 2 or 3 players saying thanks for support, just wee small things, mate. And listen, we'll always be here, us fans will always be here, the club will always be here, but some players won't. So it'd be nice to hear some of the players talking because listen, we don't know if Carter Vickers is away, Kuhn, Forrest is here. I know he's got 1 year left, but we don't know if some of the guys have played the last game. So it'd be
That's
nice for the end of it. No,
it, man. You get your mate Mendes on the phone there and
no,
speed
but
dial. Why
it'd be
he's
nice.
off the team?
It'd be nice end of the season for him to just say, "Look, thanks for support, guys. We really appreciate." Because listen, it could be just nonsense words just to put on a show, but some fans might walk him and go, "Oh, Big Carter Vickers said that today, brilliant." Again, it may be wee small things, but see, just interacting with the fans like that, it's like you say, mate, just Brendan Rodgers talking to the crowd for a minute. Thanks for support. This is who we are, blah, blah. See you next season.
Well, look at how lucky the fans of this podcast are and we interact with him. But as Plunge says there, Ryan, the man makes a good point.
Aye, better. The JP pays my wages. I wouldn't be in bed on up in Dubai, I'll tell you that.
He only goes to Benidorm and places like that, lads. Don't let him kid you to throw you off the centre. The amount of dosh he does, mate.
Aye.
Don't let him kid
Aye. Aye.
But no, listen, it's all in good fun. But as I said, if we can do that, it takes nothing to be civil, mate. It takes nothing for a 2 minute. How you doing, guys? And even at the live events, we get around as many people as we can on the night and stuff like that. Thank everybody personally for coming and the 2 that we've done so far as a podcast. It takes nothing, Ryan. Your 2 minutes of your time, mate. That's what I'm saying about these guys who I used Hatati as an example. I was trying to use Jota, but Jota wasn't in the country. Fair enough. But that was just examples of they're 2 guys that only play. They're no part of the first team today. They don't need to be in the stadium all the time. So they could have come out and it could have been organised. What I'm saying is that there is enough there to organise what's going on, folks, in terms of being engaging with the fans and being on board with the fans, being in tune with the fans. Brendan even coming out for half an hour after the game and speaking to the fans and having photos done, like I says to Ryan, folks, Martin O'Neill's there. He's in the stadium. Stan Petrov's there as well. When they go to a sky break, when they do whatever they need to do, when they come off air, go into the stadium and go place it and have it organised it there. Maybe the fans can go up to the Kerrydale suite and have photos done with, make it a day that the fans are going to remember. Make it something that the fans are going to want. Because the fans will, Ryan, a lot of fans are getting into town, going bevying, and the fans will hang back, mate. They'll hang back for 20 minutes or whatever and do this. If some of this stuff becomes accessible for the fans. So for me, it's a no-brainer, mate. But again, mate, thanks very much for coming on tonight, having a wee chat with us, mate. It's
Good
been
chat, mate. Good chat.
I know we've stumbled into an hour and a half now, so just shows you when you're passionate about something, mate, how time really flies when you start chatting about something.
Aye, listen, I know we only said a bit on this podcast, but I think what we went through, speaking to the viewers. It's something that you touch on a lot. So we're really big on the engagement for the commenters, and if they put a question, we answer, and it's been good engagement with us tonight as well. And hopefully this does well, and fans will engage with it. Hopefully fans can share it, and they can come with their views. And even if a fan wants to come on and have a chat about it, brilliant, because it's more engagement as well, and it might put it out there. But me and JP will, and Alan, we will try and get somebody for the club or somebody for a fan liaison group or anything for supporters group that can come on and potentially get some of this sorted in terms of why
Well,
we
what
try
about
and do
John
this.
Paul Taylor? Let's start.
Even
Why don't
aye,
we start there? There's a fan
that's
liaison officer.
somebody we could chat to. We will try our best, because it seems a lot of fans as well want to know as well. So it'd be good for us as well to know. Right, you see, stop talking about this now, because this can't happen because of this can't happen because of this.
Yeah,
And until we know that, we'll keep putting it out there and hope for the club can listen. I'm wishing the club's going to listen to 2 guys or 3 guys, 4 guys in a podcast, but it's 2 fans that are probably
you nearly
30
rhymed off Jonathan Ross's 4 guys that
aye,
used to play
aye.
the piano for him.
But it's 2 guys on a podcast talking here that are probably representing 20, 30,000, 50, 50, 8, whatever fans that probably all think the same.
Yeah,
So it's not just me and you, mate, but I think you're right, mate, and hopefully that can be something that we can arrange, hopefully soon or whenever next season, if we can get involved. But that'd be something that we'll try and do.
yeah. And as we said, I did tell you on Monday night that the channel will be staying active. Ryan, obviously, you've got a wee update on the next time that you will be.
Yes, it will
putting it out.
be. We will be on Friday again. But pause. It won't be live. It will be recorded just due to circumstances. But there will be a recorded podcast out on Friday. In case there were any comments, it won't be live. But myself, Alan, and JP said we will be in the chat live having a chat with you when it's on, but it will be on Friday. It'll be myself, Alan, and Daniel will be back on as well. So hopefully you can like, share, and share the podcast. Be much
Friday
appreciated
night,
for
so
your
about
support.
chilling out. So I'm assuming that wee song, good song. Oh, Danny boy. But I'll be back Monday, folks. After the weekend's all over and done with, for more chat about our beloved Celtic. Hopefully by then, Ross Duan will have signed, Scott Bain will have left, and myself and Ryan have been given access to organise next year's trophy day. for the time being, folks, enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great
Take care.
weekend when it comes.
Hell.
And we'll see you all later.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.